Hi, my name is Macy Delacombe. I am a certified health and wellness coach and the owner of Abundance Health Coaching. Today I wanted to make a short video just to kind of tell you what I as a health coach consider to be the single healthiest habit. We'll go over that, and then at the end of the video I'll give you some healthy habits that you could start implementing in your life today. So as a small disclaimer, I am not a registered dietitian or a licensed nutritionist. Nothing I say in this video is intended as medical or dietary advice and is solely for entertainment. Please talk to your doctor before making any major lifestyle changes. So, what is the healthiest habit? If you're someone who hates veggies, drinking a green smoothie every day or starting your morning with celery juice is just not going to cut it. Similarly, if you hate running, obviously getting in a mile a day is going to be awful and you certainly are not going to stick to it. The thing that is super awesome though is that health does not require perfection. I'll be honest, I don't run. I hate running. I really prefer brisk walks, yoga, some body weight exercises, and I've tried the green juice thing and I could not get into it. It made me nauseated and it was bitter. It just was not my thing. Sometimes in the summertime, I'll make myself a green smoothie, but I wouldn't exactly call them a big part of my life. But the cool thing is, I'm still really healthy because I know the habits that work for me. I make sure I get in all of my veggies and I move my body and I drink water. I go to bed early enough to get 7 to 8 hours, and I try to make sure that I'm taking care of my mental health and prioritizing self-care wherever I can with 3 little kids. Your habits are going to change with your life. Different stages of your life are going to make certain healthy habits easier, while others get more difficult. You may be able to make delicious, healthy meals from scratch in your early 20s, but after kids or a career or both, it may mean prioritizing eating your vegetables by microwaving a frozen bag of broccoli to go with your takeout, or walking during your lunch break instead of hitting the gym on the weekdays like you used to do. Maybe it just means that when you go to the grocery store, you park a little farther away so you have to walk. Health doesn't require perfection. 2 years ago, I walked a half marathon while pregnant, but I know that I could never do that today because I don't have the time to train for it like I could before having that baby and then having to homeschool 2 kids through a pandemic. In the summertime, I eat way more fresh fruits and veggies because they're beautiful and in season, and we live in an awesome agricultural area. But in the colder months, I sometimes get the bare minimum, and they're often frozen. But I know what I can and will do at any given time. And I make healthy habits a priority, even if I need to shift them a bit as my life changes. So, all that to say, I am sorry for the clickbait, but there is no single healthiest habit. The healthiest habit is the one that you are going to stick to. So, what are some easy, healthy habits that you could start doing today? Obviously, I'm going to tell you to drink your water. Water is so incredibly important. If you can't drink the recommended amount right away, then just start somewhere. Maybe it's making sure that you drink a whole glass before you leave for work, and then keeping a bottle on your desk throughout the day. Any increase in water is a good increase in water. Even mild dehydration can lead to a decrease in physical and cognitive function, disruptions in mood, vascular effects, headaches, and there are even links between dehydration and exercise-induced asthma. Another thing you could try is to get the recommended 3 cups of veggies and 2 cups of fruit a day. This is a great place to start because you're going to start feeling a lot better as your fiber increases, as well as your micronutrient consumption. Fruits and vegetable intake is associated with a lower risk of heart disease and stroke, and possibly even cancer. Also type 2 diabetes. It's associated with lower body weight, gastrointestinal health, and eye health. There are lots of reasons to eat your veggies. If you're short on time, frozen steam in bag vegetables are a really great place to start, and they can be very inexpensive. Also, depending on the time of year, frozen vegetables can actually be slightly more nutritious than fresh vegetables because they are flash frozen at their peak freshness, whereas the fresh fruits and vegetables are often picked a little underripe so that they can ripen during transport to the grocery store, meaning that they haven't had enough time in the ground to absorb all the nutrients that they possibly could. Um, you can try replacing half of your pasta with spiralized zucchini or carrots, or replacing half of your rice with riced cauliflower. You don't have to torture yourself. If you hate kale, then don't eat kale. And try new things. People often overlook things like cabbage or zucchini, both of which are so delicious sauteed in olive oil with diced onion and your favorite seasonings. Um, you can prepare your favorites in new ways. Roasted broccoli topped with Parmesan cheese is amazing. You can bread cauliflower, then bake it and dip it in buffalo sauce. Sometimes just a perfectly steamed vegetable covered in butter can have you reaching for seconds. Vegetables do not have to be boring. Something else you could try is replacing your refined grains with whole grains. This is a great habit because it's easy and it doesn't require a huge lifestyle change. You just start buying whole grains instead of refined grains. So start buying brown rice instead of white. Did you know that minute rice makes an instant brown rice too? And while it's not quite as fast as the minute white rice, it is about the same amount of time as regular white rice. So you can get brown rice on the table just as quickly as white if you choose the right ones. You could also branch out and try other grains like quinoa or millet or sorghum. Try choosing whole grain pasta or even lentil or chickpea pasta over refined pasta. Get whole wheat bread. If you really hate the brown stuff, you can get whole wheat bread that's made with white wheat, which has a much milder taste than red wheat and might be an easier kind of foot in the door to whole grain breads. Even if you start by mixing your whole grains with refined grains to get yourself used to the taste, it's still better than not eating them at all. Whole grains are rich in phytochemicals, which are associated with a reduced risk of chronic disease. Whole grains are also linked to cholesterol reduction, healthy blood glucose and insulin concentrations, improved digestive health, and a lower risk of certain gastrointestinal cancers. A higher intake of whole grains is also associated with a lower BMI. Another healthy habit you could try is moving your body. I don't care if it's 5 minutes of stretching a day or a 15-minute walk once a week. Just start. Start creating those positive associations with exercise. Start getting those muscles and joints used to moving. Then, as you begin enjoying it, you can add a little more. You do not have to jump in with 2 feet to see the benefits of exercise. Just like all of these healthy habits, any increase is a good increase. Even 10 minutes of exercise a day is associated with an 18% decrease in all-cause mortality, and that number only goes up as your exercise increases. Lastly, make sleep a priority. Go to bed 30 minutes earlier, improve your sleep hygiene, maybe shower at night so that you can sleep in a little later in the morning. Whatever it takes, if you aren't getting at least 6 hours, then find ways to increase it. Sufficient sleep is linked to better health outcomes. And let's be honest, it is really hard to find the motivation to make a healthy meal or go for a walk if you're exhausted from too little sleep. Inadequate sleep is associated with excess body weight and obesity, type 2 diabetes, mood disorders, and increased blood pressure in those who already have hypertension. So getting enough sleep is really, really important. All right, so those are my healthy habit ideas for you. I hope that you can find some that work for you. Remember, any increase in health promoting habits is a good increase. Just start somewhere. Thanks for joining me today, and I really hope that you found this helpful and inspiring. If you're curious about my sources, I have cited them in the description box below. Now, get out there and start making some healthy habits.